Here. This is a reading for the sign of Pisces. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread with a Thoth deck, and what we see on the bottom of the deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. And once we get an idea what the general message of this reading is going to be, we're going to pull 3 cards from the shadow deck to see what's going on in your subconscious, and to see if there are any further clarifications we might need. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so today we are tuning in to the sign of Pisces. So that is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or however else you choose to identify with the sign of Pisces. You can use that as a way to interpret the messages that are coming through today. And as always, if the details of these messages don't fit, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Never try to force anything. And if none of the details are really fitting, that's okay. You can always check your other placements, or you can just stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Pisceans. So let's see what messages we can get today for those who want to channel the energy of Pisces. So what things should we think about? Are there any things that we should meditate upon? Are there things we should look out for? Things we should be warned about? Things we should be aware of? Things we can look forward to? Things we should put our energy into as we move about our day? What things do we need to be made aware of? What messages can we get today for those who are trying to channel the energy of the sign of Pisces? Okay, so that feels pretty good. So let's see what we get. So in the present moment, we start with the Four of Cups. This is a card of things being not bad, but not good. It's the card of luxury, feeling comfortable, but not really feeling like you are expanding. Just feeling sort of stable, comfortable, and ready to just sort of sit there and not go anywhere, which, again, it's a comfortable place. It's not a bad place to be, but if you're looking for growth, this is definitely not a card of growth. This is a sort of hitting a plateau and things just feeling like, well, I could probably stay here. But usually that's not a place we want to stay if we really want to feel fulfilled in the end. This isn't fulfillment, this is just comfort and luxury. Okay, so let's get a sense of what's going on around this card. Well, look at that. We're going to break that comfort right up with the Tower. So whatever's going on with you, it's going to change. Whether you like it or not, this stability is not going to remain. Ooh, Nine of Swords. Two of Pentacles. Okay, so things look like they're getting better. We have the Princess of Discs. We have the Five of Discs. Okay. The Moon. The Star. Now that's nice. Getting the Tower followed by the Star and the Moon really is, we're going to be making some progress. Oh yeah, that looks nice. The Ace of Cups. And we conclude with the Lust card. Okay. So that's a really nice collection of cards. I mean, it definitely starts with a bang, but it looks like it gets much better from there. So let's just get a sense of what's going on here. In terms of our major arcana, it looks like we've got the Tower and the Lust card, the Star, and the Moon. So it looks like you might be going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul, but it looks like it's going to be getting better by the end. You've got some bump you need to get over, but once you get past that, you are going to be really coming into your powers, what this is looking like. Okay, so let's see what other cards we have here in terms of our other minor arcana. We've got for fire, we have no cards from the Suit of Wands. Yeah. I guess the only fire energy we have is there at the end with the Lust card. So maybe that's the idea, is we're kind of trying to get back to our passion here. Maybe we're feeling a little stale and stiff, and we're really trying to get back to that place that inspires us. Now we then have for the Suit of Cups, we've got an Ace of Cups, and we have a Four of Cups. So we have a 4 and an Ace. In terms of air, we have a 9, and that's it. And in terms of the Earth energy, we have the Princess of Discs and the Five of Discs and the Two of Discs. So we have all this Earth energy in the present moment. So it looks like you're probably in a difficult sort of environment right now, is what I'm getting at, but we're kind of crawling our way out of it. And I think you're at a place where it's not at its worst, but we're not quite out of the woods yet, is kind of what I'm getting. So all right, so let's just go through the cards and see what the general message is here. So we started with the Four of Cups there, crossed by the Tower. So the Four of Cups is stability. Everything is just sort of like right, lined up, not great, but not like it's stable. Things could get worse, but things could also be better. And with the Tower crossing it, that's a pretty clear sign that that stability is not going to last. It might be a little bit of a short-term victory to feel like we're in a good place, but we're not through everything yet. And the Tower is showing exactly that idea that like wherever we're at, it's not going to last. We're going to have to push forward, or we're going to be pushed forward without our consent, essentially. The universe is just going to make you deal with whatever is holding you back from reaching this next level of whatever you're dealing with. And it's coming from a difficult place. Getting to that plateau, probably why you feel comfortable sitting at that plateau, is with the Nine of Swords in the recent past. That's really saying that like it was bad for this. You were really, really worried, and you're really just trying to get to a place where everything feels like it's going to work, and not get worse. And if that's the case, then congratulations for getting out of that difficult period. But again, this is not the end of the journey. There's more to go. We have the 9 here is the card of worry. This is the anxiety that you were feeling up to getting to this stability, and potentially the lingering anxiety that you have where you realize that this Four of Cups is not going to stay. So you might be comfortable in the moment, but there's a shakeup coming. You probably feel it. And that's why we have the Two of Pentacles that follows all of this. It's the card of change. So again, I think you've gotten out of something difficult. You've worked through some things, and you've gotten to a point where you're feeling like you're in a good, solid, stable place for now, but it's not going to last. Something is going to shake this up and move you into the next sort of chapter, whatever this situation is for you. Underneath this, we have the Princess of Discs. This is the sort of bringing in of an opportunity. So perhaps what shakes this up, since this is a court card, it could be the case. In fact, I think that's our only court card. So it's likely the case that this is going to be some person or something that enters your life and presents some opportunity that shakes up the plateau that you've reached. So you're in this nice, good place. Everything is feeling like it's good enough. And then some new factor enters the situation. Again, whether that's a person or an opportunity, but something walks into the situation unexpected, and this changes the calculation. So the plateau that you had reached, perhaps you were at a point where like, okay, I think I can stay here and be comfortable. You realize, no, we gotta move forward. There's something that is going to change this whole situation. Something from the outside is going to interfere in this timeline, and it's going to make you veer off into a new direction, which is what the picture in the Two of Discs is showing you, is that a single sort of round circle has now been twisted into two to create the infinity symbol. That's the breaking apart, like a cell dividing, right, or multiplying into two pieces. This is this situation or person coming into your life and causing something to split into two sort of maybe directions. So perhaps someone comes into your life and presents you with an opportunity that now makes you have to decide what it is that you're going to move forward with and what you're going to leave behind, what things are going to be part of your choices moving forward, that kind of thing. So this is you can see here she's carrying in the Ace of Pentacles and bringing this opportunity to you that is changing your view of the situation. And so that's what's sort of motivating your thought process from the inside. What you're really thinking about as things are changing up is you're thinking about how you want to handle whatever this opportunity is. And I think you're concerned still with the Nine of Swords and the Five of Discs here. I think you're a bit concerned about how this is going to play out. I don't think it's immediately clear to you that this is going to work out. Everything's going to be just hunky-dory, happily ever after. This is the change that I was looking for. I think there's real concern about whether or not this is the right direction to be going in, and that's what the Five of Pentacles is. I think it's you looking at this opportunity and realizing it could be something that makes my life better, but it also could be something that brings more anxiety and like difficulties to my life if this doesn't go well. So there's a sort of sense of you looking at the situation from an almost negative point of view of a little bit of a little skepticism that this is really what's going to help you move forward. And that's natural, especially if you're coming from a difficult situation. So whatever this is, whatever this person is that's coming in and shaking things up, it's not going to be subtle. It's something that's going to come in, and you're gonna recognize it right away, and you're gonna have to you're almost gonna have this feeling of, oh great, now I got to deal with this. It could be better. It could make things better, but it could make things worse. And I think you're naturally in a mode of like, this is probably gonna make things worse, but let's be open to this change and see what happens. Because if you just reject this or ignore this, it's likely going to cause a bigger sort of rippling effect in whatever this situation is for you. Right? You can stay in the tower and sit in your comfortable Four of Cups sort of mode and just hope that everything's going to be okay. But I think you know that you're going to have to do something, and so whatever this opportunity is, hopefully it's something that pushes you in a positive direction. But at the very least, it's something that's going to shake up your situation. And I think further, this idea of this, like coming at this from a negative point of view and being a little concerned about it with the worry and the cruelty card here, the Five of Discs and the Nine of Swords, this is what's sort of in general leaving you in this mode of the moon, where you know you've got to do something. Like I said, you can't sit in the tower and do nothing. So you know you have to move forward by reacting to whatever this opportunity is. But again, you're not clear on exactly how to react to this situation. That's what puts you in the energy, the general energy of the moon, where you are kind of feeling things out as you go. It's not clear what the future holds, but you know that there is a future ahead, and you're going to have to make some forward movement, whatever it's going to be. So I think you're nervous about this, whatever it is, but I think it is a positive shift forward, just to be moving again and not just be stuck in Four of Cups mode. So I think you're open but skeptical about what the future holds, and that's fair. That's that leads to anxiety. That's where we have a Nine of Swords over there. But here in the environment, we have the Star. So I think what is sort of going to be the better or the best approach in this situation is to try and identify what it is that's motivating you, what it is that you're looking for, whatever this opportunity is for you. If you're trying to decide whether or not it's what you should be putting your energy and time into going forward, you need to do some work on deciding whether or not it aligns with your purpose, whatever you're trying to do with your life and your time, whatever your goals are that you're trying to accomplish. If this is in alignment with them, then try to respond to the situation in a way that helps you integrate it into whatever your overall goal is. Be working towards what you know you need to accomplish, and try to feel out whether or not this new situation or person is in alignment with that, like that path that you know that you're already on. It's not necessarily the case that you know the path to the end of this journey, but you want to make sure that whatever direction you're going as you're traveling through this dark sort of era of trying to feel out what it is that needs to be done and where you're going, you want to make sure that you're at least heading in the right direction. You don't have to know the path, but you need to know roughly what direction the goal is going to be in. And perhaps that's part of what the Ace of Cups and the challenge is sort of representing, is the difficulty of trying to figure out exactly what it is that cup you're trying to look for to really find that fulfillment. Perhaps what you're really trying to understand is maybe you don't know exactly what your path is, and that's maybe why you're kind of in an aimless wandering period. Perhaps the Four of Cups is not you sitting safely in a tower, but perhaps it's you getting away from something and now having that sense of freedom but not direction, where you know that you have the ability to move forward and do what you want to do with whatever it is you want to put your energy into, but it's not clear exactly how to do that, and so you're almost still stuck in like a stasis, rather than it's like getting away from being stuck in a prison, but then realizing that now that you're out of the jail, what do I do? Where do I go now? Like, I don't have a home. I don't have a cup to fill, and so you're in that mood where or that mode where you're trying to figure out what is that cup that you need to fill your life with, what is that star that you need to follow. Now that you've got the freedom to be able to make that choice, now you have to do the difficult work of figuring out how to move in that direction. And I think an opportunity has been presented to you. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with that opportunity. Okay, so it's not the path is not going to be made clear to you, but I think you know what it is that you want to accomplish, and so your challenge is figuring out whether or not to take this cup or move away from it, whatever it may be, and deciding for yourself whether, again, it aligns or diverges from your particular goals and what you're trying to accomplish with your life. And in the likely outcome, we have here the Lust card. So, whatever you do, I think it's going to help you. I mean, the end of this whole adventure, whatever this is for you, is going to be you finding your power. Whether that is from taking this opportunity or deciding to turn away from this opportunity. Again, that's completely in your control. That's your choice. That's the difficulty. The challenge is to accept or reject this, whatever that is for you. But regardless of the choice you make, the path forward is going to be a choice that you made, not something. I mean, yes, this opportunity was thrust into your life, but that doesn't mean that taking that opportunity was required of you. So once you make a choice of what it is you want to go with, whether you're going to follow this or reject this, by making that choice, you're going to come back in control of your personal power. You're going to know that whatever path you took it because you decided it was the path that needed to be taken, and that's what brings you to a level of confidence that you maybe are not feeling prior to this, where you know you have a place to go, but you don't know what it is or how to get there. You still have to do that work, but when you overcome that challenge, that's what's really going to help you feel empowered and in a much better place than perhaps you were while you were trying to figure out what direction to go. So that's what the Lust card to me is representing in this whole situation. So you, like I said, I think you come out of some really difficult period. Now you're at a plateau where you have the freedom to make a choice to decide what you want to do going forward. I think an opportunity has been granted to you, and now you must decide whether you're going to take that, walk away from it, or somewhere in the middle, right? It's not an all or nothing kind of situation, but this really is the time for you to reflect on what you want, what you're trying to accomplish, and how you want to respond to the things that the universe is granting you as choices. So I'm very curious what we have here and what you don't see coming. It's the Princess of Swords. There's some more air energy, and it's positive air energy. And I usually think of this card as you trying to, or as I usually think of this card as representing someone who is trying to find their identity. They're trying to figure out where they fit into the world. They're not quite ready to go into the world. They're in some sense sort of doing the. I always think of the suit of swords as like carving out the world using your thoughts and trying to figure out how your ideas need to be put forth into the world, or how the world is maybe affecting your thoughts, sort of dually to that. But the Princess of Swords for me is someone who is trying to do that work on themselves in a defensive way. We're trying to sort of carve out a space where they can let their ideas start to flow more naturally. The princesses of all the suits are always the bearer of whatever that suit represents. So the Princess of Swords would be taking the pure energy of thought, the sword energy, and having that air energy be brought into the world. But in order for that information to come into the world, there's got to be a place where that information can sort of be articulated. And I see the Princess of Swords as the card that really creates the open space for ideas to start to be understood and explored. And so I think with this opportunity that's come in your life, you are in this period of trying to carve out a sort of area around you where you can really reflect upon this, where you're not just stuck thinking about previous situations, but actually giving yourself some room to breathe mentally and make sense of the consequences of whatever's being handed to you here. So this is trying to find your identity, not quite ready to take this idea out and express it, but carving out a little piece in your mind that allows you to really reflect upon it before you really make a solid decision and make a full grasp of what's going on. This is, like I said, like clearing the space for an idea to come in. And that's what I think you don't see coming. Perhaps that's the shakeup, or what happens during the shakeup with, with the tower coming in, is that some unforeseen opportunity shakes things up, and this is what requires you to then take the time to clear out this mental space and take a little bit of time to reflect upon this opportunity and where it might be taking you. So, all right, let's see what the shadow deck has to say about all this. Okay, so I see pretty clearly what the idea of this reading is supposed to be. Like I said, it's you trying to decide how to respond to something that's shaking up your situation. Nothing in here is telling you anything about what to do. That's not the point of tarot. It's just to sort of bring your attention to the situation and give you some perspective. So, think about whatever opportunities are coming into your life right now that are unexpected, but potentially could be a change up for the better or the worse. And that's why you want to be in this Princess of Swords energy, is you want to make sense of, are we going in the right path? As we navigate this darkness in the Moon card, really reflect upon what you think will or won't happen depending on how you respond to whatever this opportunity is. And take that time to really think about it, because regardless of what you choose, like I said, you're going to end up with the Lust card there. You're going to feel back in control of yourself and your power because you made a choice based on what you wanted, not because of what was thrust upon you. The situation is thrust upon you, but the reaction to it is completely within your control, and that's what's going to make you feel empowered in the end, is making that choice regardless of whether it's the right or wrong choice. Which doesn't mean don't think about the choice, just realize that making the choice is a big step. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Let's close this reading out with the Shadow deck reading. We have the Five of Swords, we have the King of Spheres, and we have the Four of Wands. So, okay, so what's going on in your subconscious here? With the Five of Swords, that's the card of defeat. Whatever led you to this situation, you probably felt was pretty solid, but it wasn't. And I think whatever you had been planning for, I think this is the mental reaction to how the Tower is going to play out. Like I said, perhaps you did get to a point where you're like, okay, this is good enough. I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't need to go any farther. And something that this new opportunity comes in that shakes everything up, and that's going to make you feel defeated. It's going to make you feel like where you thought you were going is not correct, and that's, I think, kind of the point, is that staying in that stable place is not where you really are going to be able to stay, and so it's like a course correction that doesn't feel like, it feels like a wrong turn when this hits initially, even though it is actually opening you up to new possibilities. It still feels like a defeat. And so that Nine of Swords anxiety that is then met with the Tower is being felt as a Five of Swords defeat. But with the King of Spheres, it is an opportunity. From this defeat, you're going to be able to look at exactly what went wrong with your plan, make some sense of the things that weren't supposed to be a certain way, and use those as opportunities to reconstruct your world in the way you are experiencing it. You're going to get in command of the situation by paying attention, again, to what it is that you're trying to accomplish and trying to make sense of the things that didn't work and whether they're worth still pursuing as you go forward. And all of this, I think, is motivated by a desire to find your home, whatever your home is for you. Not necessarily a physical place, but a group of people or an idea or a project. That's something you're trying to return to. That's what the Four of Wands is. This is, so I think you were on a path. You felt like you had made it. It was good enough. Something is showing you that that's not the case, that there is a bigger world to explore. It doesn't feel great because it doesn't fit the plan. You're going to be able to respond to it. You have to respond to it. How you respond to it's going to empower you. And I think the thing to think about as you are trying to clear your mind and make sense of the star that you're trying to find, and whether you want to take or reject this particular cup, it's all motivated by you trying to find, like your soul tribe, your group of people that you really feel are your people. You want to feel connected to the people that you're around and the things that you're putting your energy into. You want to move towards that. And that's what this picture is. This is you trying to figure out. It's like that there in the distance is the star that you're trying to reach towards. And there's all this darkness, and there's all these little steps along the way. And that's you clearing your mind little by little to figure out how to get towards that path, even if everything around it seems uncertain and unknowable. So that's the vibe I'm getting there. And then the final card is the Four of Spheres, Foundation. So you not only want to find this home you want to really build a life around this home. You're trying to find in your mind the things that you feel the most sort of resonant with, and once you find that, what you don't see coming here is how much that's going to allow you to really build the way you view your life going forward around how you respond to this opportunity. So whatever this choice is, I think it's a really important choice in your life where, again, it's not that there's a wrong choice to be made, but how you react to this situation is going to really define how you perceive your notion of home going forward, and how that is going to allow you to build a life mentally and physically in which you can be comfortable, and again, you'll be back in your power because you made the choice. Um, and so really think about what it is you want to make in your life going forward. And I think that's going to help you know how best to respond to whatever this is for you. So I hope that was helpful. I know it's very vague, but it's very much a story of you've got some choice to make. You need to think about it. So hopefully this has given you some things to reflect on as you make sense of whatever that opportunity is for you. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. At the very least, I hope it was enjoyable. And as always, please hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already. If you have any comments or feedback or anything you would like to share, please drop that in the comments down below. And if you know anyone else that might enjoy this or any of my other videos, please feel free to share these as you see fit. And yeah, that's all I have for you today, and hope you have a great rest of your day.